I'm Leslie Stahl.
I'm Bill Whitaker.
I'm Anderson Cooper.
I'm Sharon Alfonsi.
I'm John Wertheim.
I'm Scott Pelley. Those stories and more tonight on 60.
As we learned in Chapter 4, proxemics are the way distance and space play a communicative role in our everyday life, meaning the physical and psychological bubble that we have around ourselves and what we own, and the space around others and what they own. In this short video, I'll be going over proxemics in a workspace environment from the perspective of the worker's duties to customers' interactions with workers. I will be using my part-time job as a zipline guide as an example of company workspace environments in relation to company property and customer interactions with said property. Now, I don't own the gear I have on in this picture, neither does the guest that wear the gear that they have on. I do not have gear assigned to me, nor have any sort of ownership over the equipment I use at work. This is the lifeline, I sometimes call it an object lodge, used to ensure that I don't. On this piece of equipment, there are two clips, one that remains on the hip of the gear and the other is attached to a belay cable or life-saving cable. As guides, it's literally our job to ensure two things: ensure that the customers are having fun and that they don't die. Having guests who have never used or seen the equipment we use is sometimes nerve-wracking for the guides, primarily with the prior mentioned lobster claws. Without a lifeline, the risk of completely of a tower is 100% because you are not clipped in whatsoever. Customers still do not follow this rule. They sometimes reach up and grab the lobster claw and unclip themselves.
You're fired!
Now, as I said, I do not own this area or equipment, nor does the guest. So why do I have the need to flip out when a guest unclips themselves? The textbook doesn't go much into this area of study, nor does any resource online. So I'll kinda be going all over the place trying to piece together what I think is the correct answer to the question: how can a person not own something yet feel some sort of ownership over it? The area of study in proxemics we have to study in order to answer this is territory. There are different kinds of territories. Primary territories, which have a clear owner and clear rules or barriers to protect from invasion or intrusion, and secondary territories, which are not important to the owner and is generally not owned by anyone, but has the potential to have someone develop a sense of ownership over the space. Now, I believe the correct definition for this subject of company-owned and employee-used equipment is a blend of both primary and secondary territories. The gear itself is only operated by the guide, therefore it shows clear signs of ownership and has boundaries put upon it through literally only the honor system. But at the same time, it has secondary territory characteristics because I don't own the gear, neither does the guest. But I have a sense of ownership over the gear because if it is intruded upon by the guests either or I lose my job, which is worse.
You're fired!
Now I know what you may be thinking. Why is esteemed actor Sam Elliott narrating this video? Well, cowboy Alex got real tired and decided he needed to end this absolute trash fire of a video quickly. So he entrusted me to carry out that act in the workspace. There are territories which may or may not be owned by anyone, but much like a young farm hand doesn't own the ranch he works on, he feels the need to call it his own to some extent. Now I bid y'all a farewell, and if any of you come to Alex's place of work, he says if you unclip yourself he'll actually lose his marbles.